the area committee. Can I ask everyone to introduce themselves so you will know who's who, and also can I ask members to declare any disclosable pecuniary interest which he or she may have in any of tonight's items on tonight's agenda. My name is Councillor Naeem Ashraf, Brierfield, Ward Councillor and Chair. Councillor
Mohammed Hanif, Wheeler Ward Councillor, no interest to declare.
Thank you. Councillor McCormick.
Pauline McCormick, Reedley Parish Council Representative, no interest to declare.
Thank you. Officers, do we have...
Sorry, Chair, I'm here as well.
Sorry, Councillor Iqbal.
Councillor Yasser Iqbal, Reedley Ward Councillor, no interest to declare.
Thank you.
Wayne Forrest, Localities and Policy Manager and Area Committee Coordinator.
Thank you, Wayne.
Catherine Hughes, Principal Planning Officer.
Thank you, Catherine.
Lynn Rowland, the Committee Administrator.
Thank you very much, Lynn. Before I officially, we start the meeting, can I just say I think this will be our last area committee as Brierfield and Reedley, the way things are with the elections coming up on May 6th, because obviously everything changes because Brierfield and Reedley will be coming to Nelson, so obviously it'll be one area committee. Can I, first of all, thank all council officers who've been an absolute fantastic help over the last, 12, 13 years I've been a councillor, and in particular over the last 5 years as chair. Can I thank in particular Lynn? I think she's been with us from day one, and she's been absolutely fantastic. And also, obviously, can I thank my colleagues, councillors, which are present and who are not on the committee at the moment, and sadly, Councillor Tonya Barton, who has passed away. Can I thank everybody, and also in particular my own colleagues from the Labour group who put their trust in me to lead as chair. So a big thank you from myself. Thank you. The next item is obviously public question time. We don't have any members of the public to ask any questions. Item 3.
I have one.
Yeah, Councillor Hanif.
Can I raise? Yes, please. Thank you. Before I raise the issue, I echo your sentiments about the officers. I think they do a wonderful job within difficult situations, and as councillors don't always help. And also a big thank you to yourself for obviously chairing and leading the committee for the past many years. So that's that. But the issue I'm going to raise, Chair, is I was called over today on Swaledale Avenue, and we raised this issue about 5-6 years ago. The work Bradfields have done on the new houses, one of the biggest problems the residents on Swaledale and Wharfdale and Garsdale have was water seeping from the grounds. So one of the residents called me over, and they still haven't. The houses are built, they've been sold, but the pipes, the water is still seeping in. The pipes they promised 6 years ago to connect one end to another end are still not connected. And I looked at the corner house. The pavings have actually changed color. It's that bad. Even when they jet wash, they can't take that coloring off. So, I want to put this on the agenda for the next meeting, because I think they can make all the money, Browfields, but they should be, not harassing. All the work they should be doing should be up to standard, and they need to finish all that work off.
Yeah, that's fine, obviously. And I think the main lead for Browfield is Julie Whittaker. So obviously, if an email can go to Julie as well, because this isn't, like you're saying, Councillor, if this has not just happened overnight, this has been going on for quite a number of years, and nothing's happened. Thank you very much. Item 3.
Mr. Chairman,
Sorry,
can I just follow Councillor Leaf? I've worked with you for many years, and you've been a fantastic chairman, and I've really enjoyed working with you now. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor McCormick. Thank you for that. Item 3 minutes. Are we happy to? Have we got a seconder?
Yeah, I'll second that, Chair.
Thank you. Item 4 is a progress report. Obviously, there's a couple of items which are elsewhere on the agenda. Are we happy to move them?
Yeah.
Have we got a seconder?
Yeah, Chair, I'll second that.
Thank you.
Chair, I'm not
Sorry,
sure.
yes.
Just on the progress report, Chair. I'm sure we had discussed this a number of meetings ago, but I'm not sure if we got a response. You know, the Halifax Road traffic lights. Did we ever get a response through you, Chair, if I can ask Lynn? Because it seems to be getting worse, and I don't know if about you, Chair, but I'm being contacted by more and more residents about this since schools have been back on. I think you know you don't live far from there. The traffic seems to be building up.
Yes.
I'm just not sure if I know we got a response before lockdown, the first lockdown in March 2020. Do we know what's happened since then, please, Chair?
To be quite honest, I don't know if you remember, Councillor, but we were told that engineers did come on site and they did some work, which they said should have helped. However, I don't think, like you're saying, I don't think they've helped. So I think another email from the committee should go to LCC, the officer in charge, to say, obviously, that they need to get back on site and do something because it's getting worse.
Thank you, Chair.
Sorry, I didn't. Yeah, I can contact them again. They did agree to actually, once lockdown restrictions were lifted, they did agree that they would have a site visit with you. So I will contact them again.
No problem. Thank you, Lynn. Item 5. I don't think we have community safety issue and police matters. I don't think we have any member of the police here today.
No, that's correct, Chairman.
Right, no problem. That's fine. Item 6. Planning applications. The first application, 20/0596/FUL. Colleagues might not be aware, but well, I know all the colleagues do get an email. That has been withdrawn. That application has been withdrawn from this evening's area committee. The next application is 20/0732/FUL, change of use from public toilets to non-residential institution, class D1, erection of a first floor extension above at public conveniences at corner of Brierfield. Obviously, we've had an update and there's been some more. There's an additional plan has been submitted showing a street scene visual which demonstrates that the proposed development is set back and will not dominate the neighbouring buildings. The proposed materials have been amended to a brick slip cladding which is to imitate stone, which is not acceptable. Any materials will need to be in keeping with the existing, and where possible, all the existing stone should be reused and matching stone should be sourced for the proposed upper floor. The materials would be subject to a condition which requires samples to be submitted and approved prior to commencement. Can I bring in Councillor Hanif?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Chair, I'm going to make several points on this, yes? Yep. So if you bear with me, please. One of the first one is obviously traffic issues, traffic access, because obviously this is the clientele will be people travel independently, people with wheelchairs, people things like this. As much as I support organizations like this, but on this planning, I've got several issues. So I'm going to raise them now. And I'm looking at the report as well. So one of them, Chair, is that we have a paved front, which obviously has been there for years and years and years. I can't understand how they're going to be obviously bringing them people in. It's got bollards, it's got access restrictions, things like this. So how are they going to be obviously bringing the people in? That's the first one. The second one is if they park on the main road, like a lot of takeaways, there's going to be, it's obviously in the town centre. The traffic is obviously quite fast there. It's going to cause major issues there as well, Chair. Yeah. And the third one, obviously, the parking, the nearest car park is Tunstall Square. Now, all the clients coming in, obviously, are with wheelchairs and they can't travel independently. Either way, there's steps from one side of the town hall and the other side where the playing playground is. So access coming into that is going to be obviously a major issue there, Chair. Now, one of the things the planning inspectors have commented on, Chair, is that obviously I've just mentioned some of this indiscriminate parking is going to be very high, dropping off. The other one is obviously construction and delivery vehicles. That ground isn't suitable for having large trucks coming in, coming in to start building things. This is the town centre we're talking about. We're not talking about a side street here. We're not talking off town centre in Loamshire Industrial Estate. This is town centre we're talking about, and that is going to cause major issues. And the other one, Chair, is that it's next to a Grade 2 listed building, literally a metre away. Yes.
Yeah.
Now that obviously is we've just spent £300,000, whatever that is, £500,000 on the building, getting it renovated, things like this. So it is the face of the town. Now, when we have a building like this, it's going to obviously it's going to have an impact. In particular, they're going to build a first floor on a Chair. Now, we got businesses in there, so obviously they can overlook into the first floor businesses and the ground floor businesses. So all these Chair obviously come into this. And the other one is that the toilets were made years and years ago. The foundations of those, everything will need to be digged up, because if they're going to put a first floor on, then obviously the foundation is to be very, very strong. It's not just about you just put plonking something on top of the building. So all these key issues are really concerning me, and for that reason, Chair, I'm going to obviously propose rejection of this application.
Councillor Iqbal.
Thank you, Chair. I think Councillor Hanif made some valid points, Chair, and without having to repeat them, I think I simply want to second Councillor Hanif's proposal. Obviously, I've had a look at the plans, and having spoken to Councillor Hanif about this particular, there are some concerns, especially where this is, and the money that's been spent already on this, on not on this application, but on the surrounding area. I don't think it simply look out of place. So, for all the reasons Councillor Hanif's given, I'll second his motion to refuse.
Thank you. Before I take a vote, can I bring Catherine in to obviously answer some of these points that are being raised?
Yes, thank you, Chair. Just to go through a couple of the issues. Obviously, we had the previous applications and the appeal dismissed for the hot food takeaway. In our view, this is a different type of operation, a different use class than a hot food takeaway. People are likely to go to the sessions, if you will, or appointments there. It's more community-based activities for people with learning difficulties, both adults and children. It's a relatively small-scale building as it is, as existing. Even with the first floor extension, it would only be 106 square metres. So we're not talking large-scale activities. Yes, I can understand the concerns about access and parking, but obviously indiscriminate parking can be dealt with under the appropriate legislation. There is a car park to the rear. Obviously, the people who've looked at this site, looked at the use of it, have considered that. Construction, that can be controlled by a construction method statement. If members are minded to approve, we could attach that onto the decision so we can control that. But there is land to the rear that they could use for materials and construction. Yes, the town hall has obviously been improved and the money has been spent on that. But in our view, looking at it in terms of the heritage asset of the town hall and the cenotaph, this would improve that setting more than what it is at the moment. Obviously, the toilet facilities have been vacant for a while. This could be seen as an additional investment into the town centre and an improvement to that. In terms of overlooking, it's commercial to commercial. There is no windows, if you will, on that side elevation that would unduly impact. And due to the height differences, I mean, the town hall and the youth centre adjacent, even with the first floor on. It's not going to be anywhere near that level, which is why we asked for the street scene visual, just to check what the impact would be from a distance, and the town hall will be seen as a more dominant building, with this more subservient in between that and the youth centre. So in our view, the impacts are acceptable ones, and its recommendation for approval. It's likely to be that if members are minded to refuse it on those grounds, that we would refer it to policy and resources due to those impacts being acceptable. Thank you.
Thank you. So obviously we've got Councillor Hanif moving for refusal. We've had a second of Councillor Yasser Iqbal. So obviously I'll ask for I'll support Councillor Hanif and Councillor Iqbal. So it's unanimous that it's refused on the points that Councillor Hanif has made, and obviously it now will go to policy and resource. Do we know when policy and resources next meeting is, or will it be after the elections now, or? Lane?
Yes, yeah, it will. It'll be after the annual council meeting.
Right, no problem, that's fine. Thank you for that. The next planning is the mill, full major conversion of mill building, first, second and third floors to 46 residential apartments, use class C and ground floor to business units, exhibition space and external alteration, including replacement windows, doors and roof, and altered vehicle access and parking at North Light Glenway. We do have an update saying that amended plans have been received for some minor changes to the scheme and clarification of the revised car parking scheme in the south elevation building to building 3, which needs to be considered at the condition and the conditions revised accordingly. So the recommendation now, colleagues, is for delegated grant consent. Councillors, Hanif, Councillor Iqbal?
Yeah, it's fine. My only concern there is not their planning, and obviously Catherine's not going to like this, but is the more work they do, which is fantastic for Brierfield, sorry, the area, that's not a problem. But what we don't want is all the materials to be dumped on the land, which I've been doing for the past 2 years. And this is the objection of the residents, is become a major God spot. So if, giving the planning is fine, but what we need to make sure that they're not dumping all the land and all the material they're digging up or whatever they're renovating on the corner of Glenway and Clither Road.
Yeah, that's fine. So are we happy to move delegated grant consent on this application? Do we have a mover and second?
Yeah.
Catherine.
Yes, Councillor McCormack.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman, I just joined you to Catherine was wanting to speak.
Oh, sorry, was it Catherine? Sorry, Catherine.
Thank you, Chair. Sorry, yes, you've gone through the update report. I think as the scheme progresses, obviously that land will need to be used for the car park, which is what it's been approved for previously, as members will be aware. So there is a condition on that some of the uses can't be implemented until that car park is brought into use. So that should be the next thing that's done in terms of that scheme. There is a little bit of crossover between some of the previous applications, which is why we've asked for some clarification on the plans and as to which scheme is going forward and which car park is going with which building. So once we have that, we should be able to issue these permissions, and hopefully the final phases of this development will go ahead and the car park will be implemented, and then we won't have the issue with that unsightly land.
Thank you, Catherine. Councillor McCormack, did you want to say something? Sorry.
Not particularly, Mr. Chairman. I am a little bit concerned about the car park because it so far it doesn't look really as nice as the building looks, and it lets it down a little bit. But maybe when we get to that point and it is finished, it might look different altogether.
No problem. Thank you.
I hope so.
Yeah. So we've got Councillor Hanif has moved delegated grant consent and seconded by Councillor Yasser Iqbal. So obviously I'm in favour, so that's unanimous. The final planning application is 20/0843/LBC. Listable consent works to convert and use as residential accommodation and business units. Work includes internal alterations, erections of new partitions, installations of floor, screeds and finishes, and replacement of existing UPVC windows with a new timber double glazed windows, installation of new curtain cladding to annex to the south elevation, demolition of hip roof to south elevation, and replacement with new flat roof, providing access to an upper section of south elevation, recovering of existing felt roofing with mansard roof with new insulation, and felt roofing membranes at North Light, Glenway, Browfield. Colleagues are aware we've also had an update with that. Amended plans have been received for some minor changes to the scheme and clarification in the south elevation of Building 3, which needs to be considered and the conditions revised accordingly. This is also now delegated grant consent. So are we happy to move that?
Yeah. No, sorry.
Councillor Neave? Yeah. You're on mute.
My apologies. You said I'm mute, so I'm on mute. Yeah, I move it, Chair.
Councillor Iqbal, are you happy to second that? Councillor Iqbal?
Sorry, yes. Sorry, Chair. Sorry, Chair. Was my, I couldn't get from mute.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
So
happy
that's
to second
unanimous, Grant. Yeah, no problem. Thank you. There's no planning appeals. Item 7, enforcement. Obviously, we've still got the 2 land to the south of Pendlebury and the 21 Sefton Street building. Thank you. Item 8, capital programme. We've got 1 bid. Councillor Iqbal?
Move it, Chair.
Yeah. Councillor Iqbal, are you happy to second that?
No problem, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, that's unanimous. Item 9 is the traffic liaison meeting. Are colleagues happy to note that? And
Yeah, note it, Chair.
Item 10, the toilets in the town centre. I think obviously with the planning thing, I think obviously it's been dealt with. Item 11 is the reopening of Brierfield town centre. Reopening, obviously there's a few update on spending and the website. Are colleagues happy with that? Are we happy to move this?
Yeah, move it, Chair.
Yeah. Councillor Iqbal?
Second that, Chair.
Yeah, thank you. Item 12, a member's request that the following item be discussed. Bradfield Canal Triangle.
I did that, Chair. Can I speak?
Yeah, of course you can, Councillor.
Thank you. Yeah, access to the canal from the Leeds and Liverpool going towards Nelson. Obviously, we've done some work on it as a committee and as a town council. We put some money towards it. It looks really nice. But behind that, we've had we met the residents about 2 to 3 times, me and Scott. Now, I was shocked what the builders who build those houses have done. Chair, they've dumped quite a lot of the soil and they dug out of those places and dumped it behind the A Creek close. And it's now a total mess. And they've destroyed the trees, the fences. We're walking along the canal bank. So you can see, you can see into people's houses on A Creek Close. Mm-hmm. You know, and we were absolutely shocked. They've damaged the gate, obviously the entrance to the canal. And so, to be honest, I was absolutely disgusted. They made they make all the money, but what hasn't been done, they haven't cleared that up. And this the land belongs to Pender Council. So and Pender Council, regardless of responsibilities, is their land. Pender Council needs to get that sorted. They need to put a brand new fence up, get rid of all the rubbish and things like this, and give the people who bought them privacy. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, to be honest, I've raised it with senior officers, but I wanted it on record, so it's obviously minuted and it goes, and we can then monitor it and follow it up. So, Chair, to be honest, I'm disgusted again. This is the second time where builders have come in, one on Close and Close, and now this one, they make the money, they go away, and they leave the mess for the council to clean up after them. and this is an absolute disgrace, Chair.
Thank you for that.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Councillor McCormick.
can we not get some redress for this? I mean, surely we have a mechanism in Pendle Council that we can take somebody to court. I mean, it just shouldn't be allowed that people can. It is an absolute disgrace. Councillor Leaf is perfectly right. I haven't house very often in the last year, but I've been down there twice recently, and it's awful. It looks ghastly, and it's always been a beautiful area. All the trees have been it's a mess. We should be to get some redress off somebody to help to pay for this work. We can't just pay it out of our coffers. You know, it's not our doing.
Was it not Browfield who did this? No.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's
I thought it was the building.
Yeah. So I think that's what they paid for those houses. You can look straight into those, and it's shocking.
No problem. That's fine. Can I also ask, while we're on the canal on the bottom end, I think colleagues remember when the houses were knocked down, and obviously one was named Accurate Way. One was it was agreed. It was
yes.
Russian Mead Way.
Yes. Russian Close it was, and
yes.
it's the next street between Weaver Street and Acre Street. There were six houses there, and that's the Ocean Way.
Has it got a name on it? Has the street sign been put up?
To be honest, I haven't had a look. I've been there many times, but I've never paid attention. I'll have a look next time I go down.
Yeah, because obviously that was part of the
Creek.
Yeah, no problem. The final item is item 13, Browfield Town Centre Premises Improvement Grants. Obviously, there's no applications. So once again, can I thank everybody for their patience and their support throughout the years. And we'll see, obviously, elections are coming, who gets elected and who doesn't. So can I thank everybody again, especially the council officers. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pauline.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Chair.
Bye.